Hi, everyone, and welcome to your weekly dose of truth tarot. It feels like we're, you know, the year has gone so quickly, yet each week it takes quite a while to get there. So we're at the 13th to the 19th of December, and I'm just using a deck. It's an oracle deck. I don't know if you could see that. It's the Yin Yang Oracle. And I thought this would be kind of nice as the precursor to um, what is the change of season. So, being that this reading will end on the 19th, we still have a few days till the 21st, where we're going to shift in the Northern Hemisphere. It'll become winter, and the Southern Hemisphere it's going to be summer. And those shifts are, for some people, super, super powerful. We can often feel those right down to the core. And, we start to shift along with the season, especially as hibernators up in the north. We might have been feeling it for the last, well, 4 or 5 weeks. Even as September comes in, you just feel this rise of energy, and then it goes down October. And then as we get into November, change of time, less time, then we start to get slower. And once the shortest day of the year comes in, we start to feel, well, at least I do, I start to feel the increase. So I want to know for this week, um, what exactly will my energies or our energies be like? What is influencing us? What is it that we can optimize for ourselves? Okay, like what can we focus on the most? All right, so we could also do a little bit of what do you call it? A manifesting. So if you find something is sluggish for you, or you'd like to see something improve, you could focus on it, say it out loud. There are many different ways that people manifest what is in their minds. You could, spend a lot of time visualizing it in a very structured way. So a lot of people take what's called mindscape. That's under the umbrella of the Body Talk system. You can find a lot of Mindscape instructors around the world. There's also the Silva method of mind control, which before Mindscape I learned Silva. And there's also, um, just really making sure you can see clearly what it is you want and making sure you ask it. So one of the people I learned from said you should command. I used to just ask the universe, I want blah blah blah. Then I was told no, you should command so God can hear you. Now some people don't believe in God or whatever it is. I'm a little bit, I don't know. I guess it's just the way I've always thought of things is if some people are spiritual, they say they don't believe in God, but they're spiritual. Then there's some people who believe in the computer program and that we could, I was listening to Scott Adams and he said you just go into author mode and then ask for things. To me, it's all the same. We can say that we don't believe in religion. I know a lot of people will be, you know, disagree with me on this. I've had a lot of people disagree with me, but the more they disagree, the more they tell me what they think and believe, the more I go, hey, that's your God. I don't care what name your God has. I don't care what type of dynamic you believe in, but somehow we humans, I don't know if it's every single one of us. I mean, everybody's got a little bit of a difference, but for myself, in my experience, I'd say 99% of people have something they believe in. Somebody could believe in school. Somebody can believe in philosophy. Somebody can believe in themselves. So whatever it is, it's just almost like we're changing euphemisms, right? Like what's his name? George Carlin had said, we used to call when people who came back from the war shell shocked, and then it became PTSD, right? Um, and we just you know make more and more euphemisms for something, and I believe that's how I believe. Do I know if this is the truth or not? It's my experience, it's my belief, it's my studies, whatever I've focused on, whatever my God is, right? Whatever I believe. I often believe in there's no two sides to things. I often believe that you know I shouldn't have any beliefs, yet I have beliefs, and I believe there's paradox. All kinds of stuff. So it doesn't really matter. We all have a little God that we have at our altar and we worship. You can pretty much meet anyone, and they'll tell you very quickly who their God is without saying my God is this or that. They'll just start announcing, what they do, what they think, what they watch, and you know who their God is. If somebody is enthralled by movie stars, or somebody is enthralled by beauty, somebody's enthralled by making themselves, you know right away what they worship. And ultimately what they worship can often be what keeps them safe. Of course, that's a very simplistic view of what I believe. But if we're looking at that way of manifesting what we think, we actually know that we manifest what we think. If you're thinking depressing thoughts, well, I don't know how many experiments you need to have done on if you focus on negative thoughts, you're going to feel depressed. If you focus on something positive, you're going to feel more positive. Now, I don't mean uh, lies, right? You can't tell lies to yourself and you're going to believe it. Your subconscious, your unconscious mind will definitely not follow suit, right? If you say you are the most beautiful person in the world, on some level you may not believe that. So that's ridiculous. But you're saying I am abundant, and you keep saying that, you focus on it, you begin to see more abundance. You say, I notice opportunities. I notice opportunities. If you do something like when you're alone, you say author mode, or you command God, or you command the universe, whatever your formula is. There are many people who have different ways of doing it. It doesn't really matter. What you need to do is be clear, and also um, not lie to yourself, right? Not lie to yourself. By saying I am abundant, you're not lying to yourself, because you're still alive and you still have something. Yeah, there can always be something negative, but we're trying to work through that, right? All right, so let's see, in light of that, what it is we are looking at that could be a problem this week. So, growth summer, interesting. So, summer is for the southern hemisphere, and there's growth obviously in the summer. It's a little slower than the spring. The spring, everything comes up. So, when you think of the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, it's talking about this period is a period where things can grow for us. Now, you could say winter is contracting time, but there can be growth of the time for rest, right? Meaning contracting daylight. Sorry, I said time. It's contracting daylight. So we can have the growth of being able to rest, being able to recover, where we can regrow our neurons, work with neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity needs a little bit of quiet, needs slowness. So it's a great time to do that, whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere. So this is something we need to look to, and where we're not growing. Let's say our finances aren't growing. Winter can be a time, especially because they're holiday seasons, where you have massive growth of your finances, but you're also depleting it with spending. But this is telling us, if we have some kind of difficulty with growth, whether it's spiritual growth, whether it's growing our abundance, whether it's growing periods of time for rest, we need to do all of those things and really come to a place of, because it's summer, right? So the card is summer. It's winter for some of us, summer for others, but it's also a time of slowing down. So Next one. So okay, so I kind of love to hate this card because it's justice, which I think is wonderful. Justice is not for the human to decide. This is a universal, or maybe it's the computer program's mode to decide where justice gets served. So, one of the things I always look at with justice is that, um, I've had people come to me for, the last 40 years asking me, I have a court case and I want to know if justice will be served. And I go, okay, there's your question. And then I'll put the cards out and it says, yes, justice will be served. And the querent usually says to me, so I'm going to win. I said, no, that's not what the answer says. It says justice will be served. Would you like to know if you're going to win the court case? And then I'll put another reading out and it says, no, you won't win. So I was like, well, justice is served, but you're not winning. And they go, but that's not fair. Well, if you look at justice on a universal, divine, uh, or in the idea that we are a computer program, justice is balancing everything that has ever happened. So you could be losing, not because of this court case alone, but because of all of what is going on in terms of justice in your life and whoever you've impacted. Of course, we take into account karma. Karma is not just this lifetime. Of course, there's instant karma. If you think many negative thoughts in the morning, you'll probably go out and run into people who are not so nice. Yeah, you may run into people who are super nice. You could have a really bad, depressing day and attract people who are super nice to you. That can happen too. That's all going to depend on, whatever configuration is going on within you. But this is saying, hey, you've got karma that needs to be balanced, which means you need to live your life balanced. So let's say you want to increase the amount of rest and your mind says, but I can't because I have to do this, that, or the other thing. This is your mind interfering. You can turn around and say, what are the things I can cut? What are the things I can do less of? And that's up to you, or go to your reader and they'll help you out with that. Um, and fulfillment is the wish. So there you go. I already brought up that we could ask the universe, the program author mode, command the universe, command God to give you whatever your wish is. So this is saying this is a week to sit and figure out what you want to have grow. Then you have to look at karmically, um, how you need to balance something. So think of it in terms of, if I'm thinking negatively, if I'm thinking I have to do, 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 you are not living in, full on, I'm in this life, I'm I'm playing in my life. There's always a moment we need to rush, but when there's a lot to do and we're feeling pressured, it's taking our sleep away from us. You're eating badly. You're not exercising. There are things going on that are damaging you. So that karma is already in effect. Somehow it has a lot to do with your mind. You might say to me, and over the past 60 years of my life, people have told me over and over again, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're saying. That's fine. You can say that. Go ahead. But this is for you. There are ways in which you can start seeing what you're doing that is mostly in your mind, and that your life can become a beautiful ritual, whether you're doing the dishes, whether you're cleaning the house. And there are certain things you do not have to do. That is a word that needs to go. Like, I know when I'm tired and whiny, I'll say, but I have to do this and that. I know I can. I hear the cringe. Hear myself cringing inside as well. I might say, I have to do this. And inside I'm cringing because I know I'm being manipulative. I am not stepping up to the plate, being responsible and going, hey, get your rest. Stop whining about this, because that's exhausting too. So I'm revealing something very important. I you you can get in tune with when you're cringing about what you're saying, whether it's a manipulative thing or not. In any case, hope you have fun with that because that was a very interesting dynamic. Um, Let me know how it goes for you. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye.